and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to Live from America, another great edition. I am your ever so humble, God-fearing, and God-loving host, Jeremy Herrell. Today is February 10th, year of our Lord, 2021. I'd like to say hello to Jenna Austin from California. I'd like to say hello to Emily Powell joining in, Brian Morrell from California, Robin Daly from Tampa. Well, I just had a Super Bowl down there in Tampa. Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining in. If you can do me a favor, reach down and grab that little share button, copy the link, and then go over to Facebook land and share it out over there. Tammy Slater says, "Oh, hello. How you doing, Tammy?" Vicky Val from Missouri and Sheila, how you doing? It's good to see you. Alan Smith from Charlestown, South Carolina. I appreciate you joining in, man. Who else we got? Sarah Lindsay from the great state of Colorado that we need to turn red, and we need to work hard to turn red over the next couple of years. Faith Crew says hello from Georgia. Love the show. I love you. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. Kaja Newell is in the house. How you doing? Thank you so much. Trinity from Texas. We got some news to talk about from Texas today, so I appreciate you joining in as well. And who else do we got here? We have Shirley and Karen Storm, it looks like. And shout out to John. He says, shout out. Well, shout out to you, John. I appreciate you joining in today here on Live from America, man. We got an awesome show for you guys today at 11 o'clock a.m. And I just urge you to get the video out there as far as wide as you can. I know we don't have a share option here on YouTube, but you can copy the link and you can put that link over in Facebook as fast as I'm speaking right now. So guys, today we are going to, I just wanted to humbly ask you to make sure if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, reach down there and hit subscribe, and then press the little bell notification so that you're notified every time that we go live. But just so you know, it's 11 o'clock Eastern time AM and 5 p.m. Eastern time for both shows every day, 2 times a day, unless something comes up or I'm on vacation or something like that. But we're about ready to get into a whole new phase here in Life from America. We're going to have a whole new setup. I just got more stuff last night that I needed. So I'll be working over the next few hours, getting everything set up into tomorrow. And then we're going to start adding other hosts to the show because we're turning this into a full-fledged network, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to have 3 or 4 hosts where I'll go and then somebody else will come on after me and so on and so forth. So this will be a place where you can watch the news all day long and get a Christian conservative perspective. So just make sure you guys go down there. And also, I'm also on Telegram. You can find the public channel there. It's Live from America, all capital letters. I think we're up to like 7,000 or 8,000. I think we just hit 8,000 subscribers, and I just started that on Saturday. So God bless you all for joining in there, man. That's truly awesome. Lavana Letta says good morning, and Patricia Burden says good morning. How you doing? Stephanie Kelly, how are you? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you join or go to the website jeremyherrell.com and join the newsletter, because I've started to send out morning devotionals, morning scripture, and communicating with you every morning that way as well. So I appreciate everybody. Let's start off, ladies and gentlemen, with the Lord's Prayer, and then we'll move into the verse of the day, and then we'll get to some good news, okay? All right, if you're with me, if you can say it out loud, then say it out loud so God can hear you. If you're at work and you need to kind of be quiet, then make sure you say it internally so that your soul can hear you, all right? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And today's verse, ladies and gentlemen, is coming from Matthew 18:20, and I sent this to you guys this morning, all of those who are part of the newsletter anyway, which, by the way, if you just go to my website and scroll down to the bottom, you can sign up for the newsletter. And it says, "For where 2 or 3 are assembled in my name, there I am in their midst." And I want to kind of give you a description of what this verse is actually saying, okay? And this is something that I saw this morning during my Bible study and my Bible time, and I want to kind of give you an analogy here. Most parents, if you have been a parent, you know what it feels like to step on a Lego. You know what it feels to pick up Legos and pick up toys all day long, right? All right, so this is a great analogy. If you take one Lego, for instance, all right, you can't really do much with that one Lego. It's one Lego. But if you add 2, If you add another Lego to that Lego, all of a sudden with those two Legos together, you can choose 24 different ways that you can arrange those two Legos. However, if you add a third Lego and you have three Legos, you can then arrange them in 1,060 different ways, just with three Legos. Now, if you add six Legos into that mix, you can now arrange those Legos in over 900 million. Ladies and gentlemen, with just six Legos, you can arrange a different variation of 900 million different variations of ways that you can put those Legos together. So what does that mean? That means when you gather together, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. No limit. As one body of the church, fellowship is powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Working together is powerful. And like I said in my newsletter this morning, it goes right back to that famous old saying that we have right here in the good old US of A. United we stand, divided we fall. So if we're going to get through this mess that we're going through right now, if we're going to get through this trial and this tribulation right now, the more people that we have together, working together, worshiping together in fellowship, ladies and gentlemen, there is no limit to what we can accomplish. There is no limit. Six Legos, 900 million variations. Are you kidding me? That's incredible. Power in numbers, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot let the left and we cannot let who we call trolls or anything like that divide us. As a matter of fact, what we really need to do is we really need to be stand out there and lead. We really need to lead by example, and we really need to show people a brighter way. And I try to do that every day. I really do. It's hard. I get it. It is hard. And I know a lot of you are going through your own problems, and a lot of you are going through your own things. I've not walked in your shoes, and you've not walked in mine. However, as one body of Christ, we can all work together through those problems. Okay. Somebody said, how can we get in touch with you now that Facebook kicked you off? Join my Telegram. I'm on Telegram right now. I think I got the public page. I think I have 8,000 subscribers now in the last few days. So that's how you know it's the real me. There's a lot of people out there that pretend to be me, but they're not me. Somebody said, I miss your hat today. Well, that's because I have a few things before and after the show that I got to do, and I needed to comb my hair. I needed to look respectable today. You know what I mean? Okay. So moving on to the news, ladies and gentlemen, because we got some good news for you, and we got some not so good news for you, but the truth is always powerful, and we need to hear the truth regardless. So let's talk about yesterday's first round of impeachment, the first waste of time that we're dealing with, the first waste of taxpayer money, the first round of wasted time and wasted taxpayer money of the impeachment. Okay. How do you guys think President Trump's lawyers did yesterday? I would like to hear from you, and I will read through these comments, but I would like to hear from you on how you think that President Trump's lawyers did yesterday. I don't think they did a very good job. And sources close to President Trump, and it's reported that he doesn't think they did a very good job either. Now, he's not worried about the job that they did, whether it will or will not convict him. He's 100% fine with everything that's going on and when it relates to being convicted, because he knows there's no chance. You know there's no chance. I know there's no chance. However, President Trump is not a defensive guy. He's an offensive guy. He's always been an offensive guy. And what he felt like yesterday was that his lawyers were on the defense, and they didn't have enough energy. They didn't have enough enthusiasm. They didn't have enough fight like a Flynn. You know what I mean? So not that they didn't argue the right words. It's not like they didn't have the right rhetoric and they weren't speaking, to the right things, but however, they didn't have the energy, and they didn't really go after the Democrats and their opening statements and their arguments and their sickening video that they showed. They didn't go after that. And President Trump is not that kind of guy. So reportedly, and we'll take this with a grain of salt, but people close to him say that he was not happy with that, and he wanted a very different outcome on that first day. Again, not that this is going to be outcome determinative, meaning that the senators are going to all of a sudden start switching and flipping, because we know that's not going to happen. Even though we had one yesterday go with the Democrats, it's not going to happen. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter about so much about the outcome, because we all know the outcome, what the outcome is going to be. It matters on how he's represented and the message that he gets across during this impeachment. That is what he's not happy about. And I wasn't really too happy with it either, to be honest with you. I thought for sure that he should definitely get Matt Gaetz as an attorney. Matt Gaetz said that he would leave his congressional seat in the House of Representatives, and he would go represent President Trump, because Matt Gaetz is a great trial lawyer too, and I think he should have done that. However, I'm not going to get ahead of President Trump. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing what he's doing for a reason. Although we did find out, ladies and gentlemen, during his presidency that he had some people around him that really didn't have his best interest at heart, didn't have your best interest at heart. You know what I mean? Like people like Jared Kushner, people like Mark Meadows and others, Cipollone. People that didn't do what we wanted him to do and what we knew he had the power and the authority to do. So I'm completely in agreement with most of you that I see reading right now. Somebody says, Helen says Rudy has them all hands down. No, I agree. I really do. And I haven't the foggiest idea where he's going to go from here with his attorneys. Here's what I think. I think, and there's a few other people who believe this too, that President Trump needs to subpoena. He needs to have the Senate and his lawyers need to subpoena Maxine Waters, Cory Booker, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all of those people who made serious threatening remarks over the last 4 years. Enough threatening remarks to fuel their base, which is Antifa and BLM, to go out there and cause major damage, billions of dollars worth of damage. People, far more people murdered and killed during the last 4 years of their shenanigans and their attack and their terrorism on the United States. He needs to subpoena those folks as witnesses, and he needs to have his attorneys ask them, what did you mean by that? Maxine Waters, when you said get in their face at the gas stations, get in their face at the grocery stores, don't let them spew their hateful rhetoric and all this stuff, get in their faces. What did you mean by that? Eric Holder, what did you mean when you said when they're down or when they go low, we kick them? What did you mean by that? Because we would really like to know how the difference, we'd really love to know the double standard here. You know what I mean? Schumer, when you were outside threatening Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court justices, saying that they're not going to know what hit them for doing what they're doing, for choosing what they're choosing in the Supreme Court. What did you mean by that? What did you mean, Nancy Pelosi, when you said that we need to that the Trump supporters need to be purged from the streets and purged from causing any harm? Which actually, all of that rhetoric, guys, all of that crap that they pushed down your throats, all of that stuff was made it possible and fueled the left to do what they did, which caused people to die, which caused stores to close, which caused burning of buildings and burning of businesses, which caused reputations to be tarnished for life, which caused economic destruction, billions of dollars in damage. What about all of that? We're just going to forget about all that? I think that President Trump needs to subpoena them as witnesses and ask them, what did you mean by that? Because it was very similar to what they're accusing Donald Trump of doing, which he didn't do. Okay? If you're going to hold anybody accountable, hold them accountable for what they did. Hold them accountable for the terrorism, the domestic terrorism that they're saying you are and that I am. Terrorists, domestic terrorists. Freedom thinkers are bad now. What the reality denialist terrorism is what they're calling it. That's what should happen. You really want to make this a spectacle? You really want the world to see what's really going on here? Then subpoena those guys. That's what I think should happen. Now, what we had yesterday is another rhino, another swamp donkey deflect from the Republicans and move over to the Democrats. Okay, and Senator Cassidy from Louisiana has joined the rest of the rhinos, and has now, there's 6 rhinos now, including Mom Jean's Mitt Romney, who are all voting for impeachment. And right away, the Louisiana GOP already voted to censure Senator Cassidy. And the Nebraska GOP is also voting to censure Ben Sasse. And this is what needs to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Their home state GOPs need to censure these folks, need to stop funding them, need to stop letting them gain any kind of money through campaign donations or anything like that. They literally need to wipe them out of their ranks. And when that happens, they have no power. They will have no power moving forward, and it'll be easy when President Trump and Don Jr. and the rest of the team, after this fake phony impeachment is over, it'll be easy for them to go to these states and primary these dirtbags, as President Trump calls them, out of office, because that's exactly what they are. They're dirtbags. There's no way around it. I don't mean to be harsh, but that's just what they are. They're fair weather politicians, and they go wherever the money is. They go wherever somebody's pulling them or pushing them in that direction. Okay, strip them from their ranks in their states. Mitch McChina, Liz Cheney, Fred Upton, Ben Sass, Senator Cassidy, Mom Jeans Mitt Romney. Strip them from the ranks. Ever since I've been saying Mom Jeans Mitt Romney, people have been sending me the funniest gifs and the funniest memes of him in his mom jeans, where he's standing there like posing, like he's on, like he's got an OnlyFans account or something, like he's on Instagram trying to get donations for being a model. Oh, that guy is, he's just out of his mind. But I really do. I think going back to what I was saying, that we need to subpoena people, the right witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get the right witnesses on that stand and say, what did you mean by all of this? Okay. And then, ladies and gentlemen, to even make it matters worse, you have the person who's presiding over the impeachment trial, which is Senator Patrick Leahy from Vermont, which is my neighboring state. And he's about as worthless as a $4 bill as well. He's presiding over it as a quote judge, basically, because the Chief Injustice John Roberts didn't want anything to do with it. So they put Patrick Leahy up there, and then, being as biased as he is, they give him a vote. He actually got to vote for the impeachment trial to move on while he was presiding over the impeachment trial as a supposed impartial judge. What is going on here? How does the person presiding over it, which is basically the judge, how do they get a vote when they're biased against the person that the presiding trial is they're presiding over? It doesn't make any sense. That's how you know what that's called, ladies and gentlemen? That's called a banana republic. I wish I would have brought a banana with me so I could have held it up. It's such an unethical, immoral banana republic that we're living in right now. And it isn't going to last long, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you right now, they're getting their rocks off right now. And I know it seems like they've been in power forever, but it's really only been a little over, a month? Close to a month? Not even. January 20th hasn't even been a month. It seems like years. Okay, let them get their rocks off. Let them get their jollies right now, because this kind of stuff isn't going to last long. As soon as this impeachment trial is over and President Trump starts ramping up that base again and starts bringing in money for the people, only the GOP members that actually support him, then you're going to see a smackdown like you've never seen before. You're going to see these people running and hiding because the public is going to rise up against what they're doing, just like some of these states are doing right now: Texas, Florida, South Dakota, and others. Okay, you're going to see them run for the hills, ladies and gentlemen, because what they're doing right now is they're trying to cram in as much of their left-wing craziness as they possibly can. It isn't going to last long, because when you're dealing with a banana republic, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't last long after that. That's not what this country was built on. That's not what this country was for. Kangaroo court, somebody said. That's exactly right. Kangaroo court, banana republic. Kevin Henson puts up a banana with a monkey. That's awesome, man. I love the comments, you guys. You guys are wonderful. Also, speaking of comments, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people who are hard of hearing or deaf who like the show, who want to watch the show, but they have a hard time hearing anything that I'm saying. So I'm going to start putting up captions, at least when the video is over, so that people that are hard of hearing can listen, can watch the show and understand what we're all talking about as well. We want to make sure that we reach out to as many people as we possibly can, and just be real. Just be real people with each other. Talk to each other. That's why I started to make phone calls to people. Like I said yesterday, I spoke to a great couple, and the wife is battling breast cancer, and they were just. It makes me so happy. I'm so humbled, right? Because I'm no famous person or anything like that. But the fact that they were so happy that I called them, it made my day. It really did make my day. So we need to continue to reach out there to each other. We need to stay together. We need to. None of us are above anyone else, and we need to make sure that everybody gets the message the way we intend it for them to hear. Okay. So yeah, Senator Patrick Leahy is presiding over this banana republic, which is really sickening to watch. And like I said, it won't last long. You wait. You watch what happens in April, May, June, July, and through the summer. You're going to see the greatest comeback that you've ever seen. You're going to see the art of the comeback in real life, in real time. You want to talk about reality TV show like we're watching right now with this fake, phony, sham impeachment? You're going to see the king of reality TV come back and show exactly what needs to be shown. Right now, the kids are playing because the parents are gone. But that ain't gonna last long soon because daddy coming home real soon. He's gonna take that belt off and he's gonna give you a licking. You know what I mean? Remember when grandparents and parents used to talk like that? Oh man. All right, moving on to some more news, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley Babbitt, who lost her life during the Capitol Hill riot, storm, whatever you want to call it. But before I get to that, there's something that's been eating me. There's something that's been eating at my brain, and I want to just say this real quick. In our own founding documents, our own founding fathers put into the founding documents that if a government ever got out of control, if a government ever became like a totalitarian government, like the same government that we separated ourselves from in 1776, if the government ever became so big and so powerful, it is not only our responsibility and our right, but it is our duty to remove that government and replace them with a government that works for the people and a government by the people. So I'm asking you all about this Capitol Hill thing. I don't even like to call it a riot. I do like to call the people that were not part of the patriot community or that were not real Trump supporters. I feel those people are guilty. But how else are you supposed to remove people that have grown above what the power that we give them? How is it us against them when they're supposed to work for us? What other way are you supposed to remove these people other than similar to the way of what you saw at the Capitol Hill? Now, I'm not saying that I'm for what happened. I'm asking a question. When a government, obviously like ours is right now, gets too big, how are you supposed to remove them? How are you supposed to get rid of them? You think you're just supposed to ask them and they're supposed to leave kindly? Normally how you get rid of them is you vote. But now we're dealing with voting machines that don't even calculate the right votes. So please explain to me how you're supposed to remove them and what they expect to happen when they do what they've done to the people. So Ashley Babbitt, who is a former veteran of the U.S. Air Force, she lost her life. She got shot by Capital City Police that day. She got shot in the neck and she died. Okay. So Ashley Babbitt's legal team and her family have finally broken their silence and on the Capitol Hill murder by the Metro and the Metro Police, Capital City Police on January 6th. And they're requesting that the public's help in identification. They want to identify the persons of interest, or basically the persons who are guilty for shooting her and murdering her the way that they did. Okay. To this day, the police department there and the Capital City Police, they have not released the names of the people who shot her. Now, if there's people saying that she's alive, and there's people saying that she's not dead, and, I don't know that either way. I really don't know. I don't know. All I know is her family and the legal team has come out and they are literally wanting the public to help them because the police will not give them the names. They will not give them the names of the person who shot her or persons who shot her. So whether this was all staged or whether it was conspiracy or not, I'm going off of what her family and her legal team is saying. So that's why I'm reporting this. Okay. It was really weird. We didn't see a funeral for her. We didn't see an obituary for her. But her legal team and her family are coming out and they're looking for identification of the police officer who shot her. Why hasn't the police revealed those names? Why haven't they revealed that name of the person who shot her? Why are they keeping that silent? Why are they keeping that a secret, especially from the family and the legal team? Why are they keeping it secret? What is the big thing here? Why is there so much craziness around this story? Why is there so much you can call it conspiracy, but let's just call it irregularities. Like I said, I didn't see anything about a funeral. Nobody has seen an obituary. Okay. People are saying it was staged. Some people are saying it's not. Her family's coming out with the legal team saying that they want to find out who it was who shot her. There's just so much weirdness going on around this story, and I would love to get to the bottom of it. I really would. I've talked to so many people. I won't say some of the people that I talked to who might have been there that day, but I've talked to people who just literally have no idea what really happened. And I think it's real weird, don't you? The whole situation, her death. the police officer who shot her, the secrecy around it, the funeral, no obituary, keeping the name silent of the cop who did it. It's just all so odd. But this is reported by Gateway Pundit and the Epic Times about her legal team and her family. I think we need to dig deeper. I think you guys are great at mining information, right? So as much information as you can come up with, send it to me, whether you think it's conspiracy or not, because where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think if we dig all together, we can really find out what happened. I really do. Information today doesn't need to be given to you by a news station. We can get it pretty easily these days. And I'm not interested in conspiracies. I'm interested in the truth and only the truth. Okay, so I think we should do some more digging on that. But I wanted to report what her legal team and her family's legal team, I guess, is coming out with. All right, let's talk about some good news real quick, because we can't come to Live from America and just talk about all the craziness that's going on the left. We got to talk about some good news too. So let's talk about some good news real quick. A federal judge appointed by President Trump yesterday upheld the decision from the lawsuit that was brought to the President Biden's administration by Texas about freezing. Biden wanted to freeze all deportations of illegal aliens. Texas sued, Texas won, and a judge ordered that freeze to be lifted and to continue with the deportations. Well, President Biden came back and tried to appeal that decision. It then went to another judge, a federal judge appointed by President Trump. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say that federal judge upheld that decision from the lower courts and said, no. We are continuing to deport these people. We are not going to put a freeze on any deportations. And I think he put that out until the end of February, and then it would be revisited then. So we gotta count our tiny wins, because, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly how we are going to minimize the damage that it's going to be caused by Corn Pop and his hairy legs and his masky pad muzzled vice president, who stands next to him like a mannequin, who clearly neither of them know what's going on. Neither of them are in charge in any way, shape, or form. They are just puppets on a string, and the left of the cabal is the one that writes these executive orders, and then he scribbles on it like he's coloring on a coloring book, and then it goes into effect. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we minimize. We minimize by the federal judges that President Trump, all 300 of them that he put in place. We minimize by the people that he put on the Supreme Court, and we minimize the damage by states' attorney generals and by the red state governors, in which case we have more than they do. Okay? That is how we minimize. That is how we minimize the damage that Corn Pop and his hairy legs will cause on this country until he leaves. Okay? Whenever that is. Your guess is as good as mine. It could be in a month, it could be in 2 months, it could be in 2 years, it could be all the way until 2024. We'll only know more about that as this impeachment trial wraps up and President Trump comes out there and lets us know that what his plans are moving into this next stage. Somebody just said Obama's third term. That's exactly what it is. It is Obama's third term. Biden, we like to call it. So Corn Pop's trying to cause as much damage as he can, but the good news is we have people out there fighting. We have states, we have judges, we have Supreme Court justices, and we have red state attorney generals who are just not going to take this, who are not going to take this kind of stuff. Remember, the states are the ones who give the government the power. It's not the other way around. The federal government does not have more power than each individual state. It might have seemed that way your entire life, but, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. And we found that out during this entire 4 years that President Trump of his first term. We found that out because of how many states literally just went against him and tried to destroy his presidency, in which they actually destroyed their own people of their own state and the rest of the country in the process. Okay? So that's how we fight Corn Pop. And I gotta report the good news with the bad, because we need to see the silver lining in everything, and we need to know how much power we really do have moving forward as we await President Trump's second term. So let's move on. I want to bring up something that I talked about this morning on Telegram, because, like I said, my daily posts are on Telegram now, and this is going to make you mad right here. This is going to make you sick to your stomach. Facebook Oversight Board member Pamela Karlan. Now, if you don't remember who Pamela Karlan is, let me give you a kind of a a brief flashback to who Pamela Karlan is. Pamela Karlan is that extremely left-wing progressive liberal who, during a Senate hearing, was basically bullying and insulting Barron Trump, a child. You remember her? She was that very, very harsh, disgusting woman who decided it would be good for her in a public congressional hearing to bully a child, bully a teenager, and say mean things about Barron Trump. Well, she then joined Facebook's oversight board, and what her job there at Facebook's on the Facebook oversight board was to oversee social media behavior and content policing decisions. So she was the one who was in charge of getting people like Lead Stories, USA Yesterday, PolitiFake, the Associated Press. She was the one who was in charge of hiring these firms to basically police your content and decide whether it was suitable for Facebook or not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she was only on that board for less than a year, and guess where she is now? She is now moved to the Department of Justice. Isn't that something? Isn't that weird how Mark Zuckerberg puts in $500 billion into this election to put ballot boxes everywhere and to be able and get these states to circumvent their state legislature, to go around them illegally and change election laws and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, people on his board are now joining the Department of Justice. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is true. She is now going to be serving on the Department of Justice as Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the DOJ's Civil Division. That means that the lady who was in charge of saying what you said was either true or false, or whether what you said was bullying or not bullying, even though she bullied a teenager who was the son of a sitting president at that time during a congressional hearing, she will now be in charge of the DOJ's Civil Division, meaning that all of that labeling you as a terrorist stuff could actually get you arrested in real life, because she's going to be the one that oversees that as the deputy assistant to the DOJ's Civil Division. If that isn't scary, and if that isn't wrong, and if that isn't a conflict of interest and immoral, and it really, if you ask me, illegal on so many levels because of how Facebook and the government worked together to steal what they stole, that's scary. And you should know that. And the reason why you should know that is because we need to know what's going on. We need to know the truth, all right, so that we can fight what's going on legally and not do it like the left does and do it illegally. Somebody said, good for her. Nice comment. Nice comment. So she wasn't even on that board for a year. And all of a sudden now she's part of the DOJ. Lawlessness people, immoral people, disgusting people. All right, moving on. We're gonna talk about Mark Cuban real quick. You know Mark Cuban, right? Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and he's also on that show. What is it, Shark Tank? I think it is. Billionaire Mark Cuban, who became a billionaire during the tech, explosion in the early 2000s. He took his money and he bought a basketball team, the Dallas Mavericks. And before he started really getting into politics and stuff like that, he was actually seemed like he was a really cool guy. Well, the latest thing that Mark Cuban is going to do is he is no longer going to allow the national anthem to be played at Dallas Maverick games. And his reasoning for not wanting and not allowing the national anthem to be played at Dallas Maverick games is because he wants to protect his players, so that they don't have to be forced to kneel during the national anthem. So instead of being a true boss, instead of being a true owner of a team and saying, you're going to honor our country and you're going to stand or you're not going to play, he is now catering to the kneeling at the national anthem. And he's just going to say, oh, we're just going to protect our players. We're going to protect our image and we're going to protect our PR. And we're just not going to play it. So no longer are we going to hear the national anthem. But you know what? I don't watch basketball anyway, and I stopped watching football too. But for the people who do watch those, who still watch, fans of the NBA and fans of the NFL, I wanted you to know that you'll no longer hear the national anthems if you're in Dallas and if you're a fan of the Mavericks. You'll no longer hear that. So you need to do what you need to do, having that knowledge. And I would imagine that most of you will do the same thing that I did and just turn it off. Because you're not going to give your money to people who are un-American and people who literally attack the red, white, and blue, that beautiful red, white, and blue behind me and what it stands for, and all the people who died for that kind of freedom. Okay? So I do want to end the show with letting you guys know that you can go to jeremyherrell.com, sign up for the email list, and and I also want to let you guys know that I am behind on personal emails. So all of you who have personally emailed me or donated, who I'd like to reach out to personally, I'm behind about 3 days. So don't think I'm not getting to you. I am. It's just a very difficult thing to do when I'm. There's just so much to do in a day, and I need about 48 hours a day. I really do. So thank you guys so much for watching today live at 11. We're going to be back with more Live from America tonight at 5 p.m. I encourage you to go watch Jay Sekulow at noon, and every day watch Steve Bannon on the War Room on America's Voice News on their app or on their website every day at 10 o'clock before me. So you have Steve Bannon, then Jeremy Herrell, and then Jay Sekulow. And sooner than later, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have more people on this network that you'll be able to watch as well. So go sign up for the newsletter at jeremyherrell.com. And if you like what you see and you can afford to do it, please consider becoming a monthly donor. $1, $1,000, whatever it is you want to help donate. It helps the show grow, and it helps us get out there into the country and hold people accountable and truly be live from America. So thank you guys very much. Remember, there are right ways, there are wrong ways, but there's only one Yahweh. So stand up tall, keep your shoulders back, your chest up, out, and your head up high, because you are a child of God, and no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. We'll see you tonight at Live at 5 for more Live from America. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. God bless.